it was not all about resilience and never give up attitude. We had also laid the foundation of having dual sources, and also, in many instances, we had many, things that we had simplified, the parts that we had simplified, the supply chain design that we had simplified, due to which we were able to get through the pandemic in much better shape than rest of the automotive.
It forced us to adapt.
Right.
We encountered issues one at a time. It was really a team effort. We heavily relied on the government relations team. You literally had to, the COVID pandemic, as you're aware, happened in different countries at different times. But unfortunately, you need all the parts to make the car. So at any given point, there was one factory that was lying down. There was
Right.
one jurisdiction that was being, that they wanted to shut down a factory because you had an outbreak. So learning the rules, understanding, coming up with argument points, leveraging the team, and getting those. It was a difficult but good experience.
Exactly.
We learned a lot.
Yeah, and as we were just figuring out to work with COVID, then the port congestion hit on the West Coast. Logistics lead time went up by twice the amount, and we were operating with less than 35% accuracy in the system. That means at any given point, the ETAs of the vessels were 75% off. So we figured out how to work with that, and then the chip shortage hits.
Yeah, the chip shortage. That was a nightmare. But we got through it. I mean, I think it's a testament to the tenacity of the team and the resilience of our supplier partners. It's mostly behind us, and I think the results speak for themselves. Tesla was able to grow production volumes at a time where the rest of the industry had a hard time staying flat. I think they shrunk, actually, cumulatively. And we're often asked the question, how do we manage through it? And the answer is very much kind of baked through the presentations today. First, we design our own electronics. So in order to control cost, we really had to go and build relationships with all the tier 2 suppliers to negotiate them directly. So these relationships were formed over 10 years ago, and we've really gotten to know them well. So when a shortage hit, we knew who to escalate to, who to call, who to ask for help, and really kind of swarming the issue at the point of constraint. So the best team, strong relationships with vendors, and then we also have a pretty sophisticated capacity planning function. Tier 2 capacity needs to come on earlier than Tier 1 capacity. Tier 3 capacity has to be even earlier. And our team does a very good job of having that strategic alignment with all our partners to make sure that the capacity is ready before we need it. We're a mission-based company. Our goal is to put as many EVs out there. We did not let the pandemic phase us. We were full throttle. And it was pedal to the metal in terms of our demand signal. That also helped. The silicon industry has very long lead times. They invest billions of dollars in sophisticated fabs that take years to build. So that stability and demand is something they appreciated, and it's something that is very much a Tesla thing. So this was looking back, right? This is how we got here. This is how we got from 0 to 40,000 cars a week. Let's talk about how we get to 20 million. So the question gets asked, is Tesla going to basically break the chip industry if we grow to 20 million vehicles? The answer is no. But let me walk you through a logic on that. So as it stands right now, a Tesla enabled with a full self-driving computer has 4 times the silicon content of a regular vehicle. So at about the 2 million run rate, we're consuming about 700,000 12-inch wafer equivalents. That's the industry term that's thrown around for capacity in silicon. That's how much we're using, so a little bit below 1 million. And the global wafer capacity, based on the estimates we've seen, is about 135 million. So we're about 0.5% off the industry. Not a lot. Now, if you get to 20 million, when we get to 20 million, and if we don't make any simplifications in terms of part count, which is also a separate work stream, I think Colin talked about it, Pete talked about it, we're not going to have all these different components. We're really going to simplify the architecture because simpler is better. But even if we don't do that, and we take the most pessimistic case, we're going to need 8 million wafers, okay? And the industry is going to scale to 200 million by that point. So still, we're less than 5% of the market share. And if we run the same offense we ran all along and continue to work with our partners and invest in fabs and invest in capacity, we'll have the capacity ready by the time we need it. So I really don't see this as an impediment from a supply chain perspective to get to 20 million.
Now, I would like to talk about a page that we took out of the electronic playbook and applied it to the